Hey, what's going on, guys? Chris here from New Venture Entrepreneurs, and today's topic is going to be on merch research. So, if you're new to Merch by Amazon and you're not really sure where to start with researching for your designs, I want this video to be a great resource for you to come back to and reference some of my key points in order for you to make the best decision. So, some things I'm going to go over are the various design types. There are a few that are crucial for you to understand. I'm also going to go over the BSR, which is the bestsellers rank. If you're unfamiliar with that, it's really important to understand. And I just want to quickly talk on that or touch upon that for you to get a better understanding of how that works. Also, I'm going to talk about the keys to success with Merch by Amazon. Now, I've been on the platform for several months now. I've had my ups, I've had my downs. I kind of have a good understanding of definitely what doesn't work. So I want to share my knowledge and share my journey with you so that you don't make the same mistakes that I have. But the funny thing or the cool thing about Merch by Amazon or any business that you have is that you can structure it any way that you want. Everyone's business strategy is different. So that's why I want to make this video just so you can understand the concept behind merch research, and therefore it will allow you to make your own business strategy. So to start off the video, I want to go over the major types of designs for Merch by Amazon. So there's three major types. It's going to be evergreen, seasonal, and trending shirts. Now, evergreens are designed with the intent of making sales at any time of the year. So some examples I have here will be occupations. So that can be nurses, doctors, or lawyers, firefighters. You can think about what your family does, your family members or your friends. What do they do for their line of work? What do you do yourself for your own line of work? Occupations will be considered an evergreen niche. Another example would be motivational shirts. So that can be like the inspirational type, the entrepreneur type, and they usually have some type of popular quote in a very nice font on a shirt. That's another evergreen example, just those motivational type of shirts because they sell all year long. Another example could be something like birthday shirts. You can have like birthday girls. It doesn't have to be the specific month, like February birthday girl, but just the general concept of birthday girl on a shirt. That can be an example of evergreens. Now, it's illustrated on this blue line. As you can see here, starting was like 2015 in the beginning. There's pretty much a straight line going all the way to this point now in 2018. There are some ticks. There's a tick there and a tick here and one here. That can probably be due to a period of time when people are buying more, but for the most part, it's pretty much all a straight line. Another example of designs would be seasonal designs. They are created for specific moments or specific periods of time. Now, as you can see, these little ticks here, like I said, that's probably due to a time when people are buying more. Holidays can probably be attributed to that, like Christmas. And holiday will be, holidays or Christmas in general will be considered a seasonal design. So Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's. I have another example here, back to school. These are all considered seasonal designs. Now they sell at a given period of time in the year, and then once that period of time is over with, they pretty much stop selling until the next year. That's when they start selling again. So holidays like Christmas, people are usually buying 2 to 3 weeks before Christmas for holiday gifts, Christmas shopping and stuff like that. Same thing with Halloween. People are probably buying a couple weeks out before the actual event happens. And then once that event is over, you gotta wait until the next year for people to start buying those same type of designs. Same thing with back to school. A couple weeks before school starts, people are usually buying. And once school has started, people kind of slow down their buying for back to school stuff. And then after that, it's pretty much done. And you have to wait until the next year to start buying or for you to start seeing sales again. So that another and final major type of design would be trending designs. And they're more concerned with specific events. One example I have here is the eclipse. Now, I know during that time, I think it was last year in August, if I'm not mistaken, I know a lot of people put up those eclipse shirts and a lot of people were successful with it. I have this illustration here with the red line. It goes up all the way to the top. Now that is considered a trending design. After that, it pretty much stops and then ceases to make sales. So that's an example And also, if you know what this trend is, go ahead and like the video. I'll give you a hint. It had something to do with kids, and it didn't last very long. So that is an example of trending designs. Now, if you want to structure your business with trending designs, which is totally fine, there's nothing wrong with having that business strategy. I do want to go over some of the flaws with going with the strategy. Number one being it's a very limited shelf life. So it's very short lived. Like that Eclipse example I said earlier, once there was demand for it and the Eclipse was over, the demand was over with. They're not selling anymore at all. Another example would be 2015 Christmas shirts. Now, I know I said holiday shirts are more of a seasonal type of thing and they'll sell every year, but this is 2015 shirts that we're talking about. They're only going to sell in 2015. I don't think anyone from when 2019 rolls around, I don't think anyone will be buying 2015 Christmas shirts. So that's what I mean by very short lived and limited shelf life. They're going to sell for a while, and after that, they're going to stop selling. Another issue with trending designs is that it just uses valuable slots. Now, if you know about Merch by Amazon, you understand the concepts of tiers. Once you're on tier 10, you can only sell or have up to 10 products available. When you're on tier 25, you can only have 25 products available. So just imagine you fill up your slots with some trending stuff. That's going to be a lot of work. You have to create the design, hope they sell, and then once that event is over with, you have to take them down and create new ones. So that's what I'm saying. It just takes a lot of work. Also, there is competition. It's usually very saturated with everyone trying to get a piece of the pie. Everyone knows about this event or this trend that's going to happen. So everyone's going to try to dip into it and make some sales. You don't have to be a part of that. Another strategy is to just get out or not be in trending designs and just build your portfolio with evergreen. So that's why I want to go with, or that's why I want to say my opinion is mostly evergreen with a small amount of seasonal designs is the best strategy to go with. And that's a great thing about merch. You can just structure your business or structure your strategy any type of way you want. You can fit in more trending designs. You can fit in more seasonal designs. It's all up to you and what works best for your business. So that's why I want to give my opinion after having some experience on the platform thus far. So like I said, my opinion is having mostly evergreen with a small amount of seasonal. Build your portfolio of evergreen niches of stuff that sells year round. So you don't have to worry about not making sales with those trends. An example would be, and this is just for an example, if you make 10 shirts per week, you can have either 90% evergreen with 10% seasonal, or if you want to do 80% evergreen with 20% seasonal, it's all up to you and your business. And that's what I love about having a Merch by Amazon business. You can structure it however you want, test some things, see what works. If it doesn't work, change it up, you know. Now, some of the pros to trending shirts, because there are some pros, is that you're putting yourself in a position to tier up quickly. You're putting yourself in a position where you can increase your chances of selling more. Doesn't necessarily mean that you will be selling more, but you're putting yourself in the position to sell more. Just imagine there's a topic coming up or a trend that's coming up, and there's going to be a huge surge of demand for that trend. If you put yourself in that position, you're more than likely to make more sales. It doesn't mean that you will guaranteed, but I'm saying you're more likely to because you're putting yourself in that position to make sales. And a tip is that if you want to tier up fast, because a lot of people do preach that, you can get into trends and price low. Now, if you do something like that, do not expect to make any money. I think the lowest you can sell your Merch by Amazon shirts for is $12, and I want to say 87 cents or 89 cents or 88 cents. I mean, after you make the sale, you'll be getting 1 penny of royalty. With that said, when you make sales, you're not going to be making much money at all. So if you do that strategy and you want to tier up quick, don't expect to make money if you want to price low and get into trends. But like I said, that is a good strategy to use if you want to tier up quickly. Now, it just goes to say that if you choose a strategy of having more evergreens, you will get closer to that passive income lifestyle that a lot of people talk about on the internet. And you'll be living that lifestyle just like how this guy is living right here with this illustration. It's really important, and the goal is to have a huge collection of products that sell regularly. So you can just sit back and have the money come in like the guy here. Now, going on to bestsellers rank, like I said, it is crucial for you to understand how bestsellers rank works for your Merch by Amazon business. If you want success with merch, understand BSR. It is really important. And that in the next couple slides, I want to talk about that. And if you don't know what it is, please take notes and really hone in on everything I'm going to say. Now, the Amazon's BSR, the bestsellers rank will generally be on every single product listing in Amazon's database. So every single item on Amazon.com normally will have a bestsellers rank attributed to it. There are some cases where there are no bestsellers rank. Usually that will be because the item has not sold yet, or Amazon probably just hasn't indexed the item yet. But for the most part, it will mostly be because it hasn't sold yet. Usually items would be listed in multiple categories, but there's always a top level category. So for this example here, you see some of the subcategories are skincare and then eyes and then ultimately serum, or another example would be skincare, face treatments and masks, and then serum. Ultimately, there is a top level category. In this case, it's going to be beauty and personal care. Now, the best way to understand bestsellers rank and the best way for me to explain it is to understand like this: the best selling product in that category will be number one. I'm going to repeat that one more time. The best selling product in that category will be number one. So for this example here, the top level category, which is beauty and personal care, this item is number 71 in that category. Just imagine this item was number one in that category. It will be the best seller for beauty and personal care. That is the best way to explain it. The best selling product in that category will be number one. Now, there are hundreds upon thousands upon millions of products on Amazon. So that's why it's important to get your BSR rank low, because that just shows that you're selling a lot of products. Now, I have an example here of a listing just so you can understand BSR and understand where to find it. If you go to any product or any listing on Amazon.com, you can scroll down and go to the information part of it where it has all the details about the product. Right where it says product description, it usually will have a bestsellers rank attributed to it. I'm highlighting where the BSR rank is right there. Uh, that's going to be on every single product. Like I said, sometimes they don't have it, but for the most part, that's where it's going to be located right there. Another way for me to explain BSR is to look at this chart right here. The green line pretty much illustrates the BSR rank. Every single time it sells, the BSR rank drops. And as you see, as I'm scrolling over, once it first started, it looks like it's sold, and that's how you get the rank. Scrolling on over, the rank drops right there. That means that it's sold, and going on, it's sold again right there because it dropped. It went up in BSR, but then it sold again and dropped. Keep on going. It went up, it's sold, it's sold, it's sold again. And that's how you understand BSR. That's how you understand this chart right here. Every single time when it makes a drop, that is the item selling. And the more sales you get, the more it drops. Scrolling on over, made a sell right there. Again, as time goes on, it increases, but then it drops after a sell occurs, so on and so forth. This is BSR, and this is the best way to illustrate how it works. And the tool that I'm using for this is called Keepa. This shows the historical data on BSR. Look at sales right there, it drops, and so on and so forth. And after that, it just sells a lot. Now, I hope that video illustration was very helpful for you to understand BSR rank. If you don't understand what it is and you still have questions, go ahead and leave any questions in the comment section below. Now I want to get into the key to merch success. Like I said, I've been on the platform for a while now. I kind of have an idea of what works and what doesn't work. Of course, it goes without saying that the first thing you have to do is find a niche. Now, in order to have success with Merch by Amazon, understand this part. Number one, you have to find a niche where there are only a few listings. And also those shirts have to have a low BSR rank. Key number one, like I said, you want to have a low amount of results, because a low amount of results equals low competition. Do not get your designs lost in a sea of thousands upon thousands of listings for basketball shirts. It's not worth your time. You could type in shirts for dads or shirts for moms, shirts for kids. There's going to be a lot of them. Why do you want to waste your time in creating those types of shirts? For example, if there are over 1,000 results with over 10 pages, how deep do you think a buyer is going to go to find your design? Because once you put a design up, you're pretty much in the back. You're all the way to the last page and you have to work your way up. Hopefully you make some sales. Hopefully you put in the right keywords for people to find your shirt. But for the most part, you're going to be in the back. My strategy is to get into niches with less than 400 or 500 listings. Someone else's strategy might be different. They might want to go for keywords or niches that have less than 300 or less than 200. I think that 400 or 500 listings is a great way for me to get into that niche. That's just my opinion. You can test this out if you want and see what works for you. The next key is going to be low BSR. Like I said before, low BSR equals demand. So like I said before with that illustration video, the lower the BSR, the more it's selling. The better it is a result of consistent sales. So my strategy is to look for the first 8 to 10 listings, usually 8, sometimes 10, and I want the average of that to be under 600. Now there's a reason why I said 600, because there's a tool called Jungle Scout. They have a sales estimator. If you go to the category on the sales estimator and put the BSR rank, normally, well, for Merch by Amazon, ours would be in the clothing and shoes category. Once you put the BSR in that sales estimator, I found out that around 550,000, that's when it's making at least 5 sales per month. Anything over that is not making sales. I put 600,000 just for a little bit of wiggle room, I guess. But anything under that would be great for me. I'll probably get into that niche. Now, like I said, this has to be the first 8 to 10 listings in order for me to proceed with that niche. Now, real quick, if you are enjoying the video so far, please consider giving it a like. It lets me know that I'm doing a pretty good job. And also, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. Normally in my videos, I'll give sales updates to my Merch by Amazon business, and anything else that I have going on, I usually update it on the channel as well. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now, the next thing I want to get into is finding niches. Now, in fact, finding niches is the easy part. Anyone can easily Google popular hobbies or popular interests or even popular niches to get into. That's the easy part. Now, the difficulty comes with when you're trying to find niches that are profitable. So that's why it's really important to understand the strategy of sub-niches. Now, sub-niching, or the whole act of sub-niching, is a little bit more complicated. I can probably make another video on that because there's a lot that goes into it. Usually people with more experience will understand how to sub-niche, but I do want to go over that in this video. It is a little bit of hard work and it does require a lot of testing. So you'll do some research and you'll do some sub-niching, and then you kind of figure out or find out that that niche is too competitive, or that niche maybe not have that much demand. So you just, kill that topic off and move on to the next. So that's kind of how it works out. You really have to really test things, and it does take a while. So that's why I said it's a little bit of hard work. So real quick for this video, we're gonna have like a little assignment. I want you to make a list of 50 hobbies or interests off the top of your head. And a little tip, add 50 more to that. It doesn't have to all be today, but just think about some things, some things that you might want to get into. Think about yourself. Think about, what are your friends into? What are some interests they have? Just go ahead and think of anything and everything. There's no wrong answer. Just make a list of it throughout the week. And after that, you can just, start digging in really. Making this list shouldn't be hard at all. I can actually give you some ideas right now. So I'll talk about myself. I am from California. That's a good idea to get into. You can make shirts about California. Another thing about me is I have interest in entrepreneurship or making money online. That could be another shirt. I already said before, entrepreneurship shirts, usually like the motivational type of shirts. That's a good niche to get into. I have an older sibling. There's probably shirts about siblings. I specifically have an older sister. So, you could probably make shirts about having an older sister. I put on here that I drive a car, and specifically in LA traffic. If you know anything about LA traffic, you kind of understand my frustrations because at times it can be very stressful. So, maybe there's a demand for that about people driving their car in LA traffic. I don't know. I just threw that out there. I enjoy riding my bike. There's the biking niche. I like going to barbecues, barbecue niche. I also like thrifting. Or when I was heavy into eBay, I went to go thrifting a lot. I went to the thrift stores. I just like picking up those like gold nuggets, those gems, and then reselling it online for some profit. I don't know if there's demand for that. There might be, but I just threw that on there. And some other topics could be surfing or camping or basketball. I put on here high school. I'm pretty sure there's shirts about high school. I put high school freshman to be more specific. You can also get into the pet niche. And when I was talking about sub niches, this is a way for you to sub niche. I have cats, so you can get into dogs. So that pretty much cuts out some of the competition right there. If you want to go even further, you can do funny cat shirts or funny dog shirts. If you want to go even further than that, you can do funny cat shirts for moms or funny dog shirts for grandma. Just really sub niche down. That's just one example of that. But like I said, that can take a whole nother video to really understand the concept of how to do that. Another example I have is adoption shirts, adoption awareness. That could be for pets or children or something. You can just, really hone in on that type of topic. Donuts I have listed here. A lot of people like donuts. That can probably be an evergreen niche to get into. But if you want to be more specific, you can get into National Donut Day, which is once a year, I think in June. Another topic I have on here are unicorns. That can be a topic to get into. But the one thing about unicorns is I know that it's saturated. Well, let me say that don't be overwhelmed with saturated niches. Like I said before, it's important to understand how to sub niche. So you can get into unicorns, but you can't just put, unicorn shirt or funny unicorn shirt or cute unicorn shirt. There's going to be a lot of listings for that or a lot of results. So your strategy with that is to be more specific to the point where you only have about 400 to 500 results from whatever your keywords are. So you could say something like birthday unicorn shirt for 6-year-old girls, something like that. I don't know if there's shirts like that. There might be, and it's probably saturated, but that's just an example. So once you get your list done, it is time to dig in. So just from the top of the list, go down, or from the bottom, go up. Based on the criteria, find topics that pass the requirements. Well, before you even do that, think about some stuff that's already going to be oversaturated. So think of some things that you already think that's going to be too hard to get into, and then start with this method right here. So with the rest of the listings, go to Amazon.com and search that topic that you have and see if it passes the criteria, the requirements here. So my personal strategy is to have a low amount of listings. Like I said, I want to go for 400 to 500 or less. My average BSR requirement is 600,000 or less. And the reason why I said that is because according to Jungle Scout's estimator, the BSR rating of 550,000 or less, or I'm sorry, 550,000 is selling at least 5 shirts per month. So that's my requirement. Also, you want to make sure it's not a trend. So you can go to places like or websites such as Google Trends and see if it's just a trend. Now here I have illustrated an example of what I've been talking about earlier about subniching. So when you go to Amazon.com, you can search a basketball shirt orca, and I did that, and I came up with 5,000 results. Now, I know there's more than that. I don't know why they gave me 5,000, but that's what they gave me when I searched that in. So you can go to Amazon.com right now and search basketball shirt orca, and you'll come up with so many results. You can do that right now. In this example, like I said, there's 5,000 results, and that pretty much equates to a lot of competition. You do not want to get into something like that. From that, I went to funny basketball shirt orca, and that was able to lower the amount of results. So from there, I had 1,000 results left. Still a lot of competition, but it's more suitable to compete. After that, I typed in funny basketball shirts for girls. Still, there were 1,000 results, so I stopped that, and then I went to funny basketball shirts for dads orca, and I guess I forgot to put this part, but either way, there were a lot less listings, which allowed me to get into it. This is pretty much subniching here. This is the whole strategy of it. Really trying to key in on more specific keywords, and that's pretty much how you subniche. Now we're nearing the end of the video, and I just want to go over some of the tools that I use, or some tools that I use a lot, with number one being Merch Informer. Now, Merch Informer is a software used specifically for Merch by Amazon sellers, and it helps speed up the research process. A lot of people use this. If you haven't heard of it, I'll leave a link in the description below for you to check it out. There is a subscription for it. You don't have to purchase it. They have a merch research tool that you can use that is for free. But if you do want to get the added features, they have a plan that's $10 a month, which isn't bad considering the amount of features that they give you. But either way, that is a very important tool to use. So go ahead and check that out. Another tool that is pretty useful would be Google Trends. You can go to google.com/trends, and that is used to visualize trends and seasonality. And another tool to use is just the actual Amazon.com website itself. It is the world's largest online retailer, and that gives you a lot of the information that you need right there on its own. Because, like I said, it gives you the BSR, which is the bestsellers rank, and from there you can really just, that's all the information you really need. All right, so now we're at the last slide, and first off, I want to thank you for watching the video. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave any questions in the comments section below. I will read it and I'll answer it as soon as possible. Also, I just want to quickly mention that I have a Facebook group. If you want to join that, that's a great way for you to get your answer, or for you to get answers to your questions as well. It's a growing community. I have a few people in there now, and yeah, like I said, there's people joining every so often, and it's pretty much growing. So it's good to get in. I'm pretty much in it all the time, and yeah, so that's gonna be it for the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.